Welcome back, and are you ready for some motivation for a Monday? I bet you are, because today we're discussing something very interesting. We're discussing multi-skilling as a coping mechanism to adjust in an ever-changing economy with Mr. Fola Daniels Adilesi, who is in the studio with me right now. Welcome back again.
Thank you. Good morning.
Nice clean shave. That was from yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
How can multi-skilling be a coping mechanism?
Okay, so you know that we're in a constantly changing environment, and recently we talked about those who are trying to relocate. So whether you're remaining in this environment with a challenging economy or to the better economy, supposedly better economy, what you need to do is to consistently multi-skill. For example, if you're in the corporate world here, as we know, when people relocate abroad, they would always have to get into a different environment. Have you asked yourself, is your skill relevant in the new community, or will you be able to fit in immediately? That's usually one of the biggest challenges of people going to another country. So you don't just go to another place and not find out what skill is relevant. If you find out what skill set is relevant and you prepare for it, it makes it easier for you. But back home in Nigeria, one of the things we do, our economy is the kind of economy that says, okay, just get to school, get a good grade, and get a job. But we're going beyond that time where just one job is enough. I'll take myself as an example. Beyond what I do in the corporate world and consulting and stuff like that, if you give me a DSLR camera, I can operate it efficiently.
Oh, nice.
I can go into an event, take pictures, professional pictures,
Nice.
and not take it in an automatic mode. Now, if you want to stream an event, I can handle all the gadgets for live streaming.
Nice.
And then come to corporate communications, I'll do corporate communications again. So you realize that if there are challenging times and opportunities present themselves in other spaces, you can get in there easily, do something, and make money. So multi-skilling will make it easier for you. Multi-skilling makes you more relevant. That's why it's very important, whether you're traveling or you're not traveling, you're in Nigeria or wherever it is, right now, multi-skilling is the new oil. You can't afford to stay with just one skill set because things are constantly changing. We're also in the digital era.
Exactly.
Where AI is taking a lot of jobs away from people.
Yeah.
So what it is that AI cannot do for people right now, that you can still do, because whatever AI can do, it means that people will not want to pay for it anymore. So what other skill sets do you have, or have you developed, or will you develop to stay relevant?
But as a person and as people who perhaps maybe have spent so long inside of a corporate environment or systems where it is very structured, perhaps maybe go to work with a shirt and a tie, multi-skilling would often mean that they have to learn something new, something that is often maybe almost manual. And that's the problem when it comes to that sense of pride with most people. So how can they adjust that?
So for those in the corporate world, sometimes it doesn't mean that they have to learn something entirely new. But the challenge really is, as you go up the ladder, you have more people reporting to you, and you ask them to do things without watching what they are doing.
Yeah, so you're eroding your own skill while they're
Exactly.
getting
It's
better.
a disservice to yourself
Yeah.
because you just use your authority to skill them up. But it's a disservice to you. So even as you ask other people to do something,
Be
ask-
involved.
Be involved, be humble, ask them to teach you. Because over time, something may even happen, for whatever reason they are not available, and you can sort it yourself.
Yeah.
But then when you get outside that organization, that skill that you have learned from somebody who looks like a subordinate becomes useful to you. I remember during the lockdown, somebody confessed that she started struggling with her computer system because she now has to work from home. But when she was in the office, she was the boss.
Tunde, come on, fix
She
my
would just
computer.
call anybody, and in a few seconds, they are there, they will fix it.
Yeah.
She will shout at them for not being able to fix it or for not doing it right. But when she got home, she understood the value of those people. But if you had skilled up, watch out for what they were doing, how they were fixing it. When you're on your own, it makes it easier. So we should not take for granted what subordinates or the technicians are doing. Technician may be there for you in the office, but at home, would they be there for you? Even if you can afford it, something may happen at a time when nobody is available. So it's important that we begin to look into other skills. We're going in such a direction where you just must be able to do something. For example, now, our smartphones are becoming a lot more smarter. On your phone now, you can take powerful pictures. On your phones, you can edit videos, you can record powerful videos, almost the same resolution that DSLR cameras or professional cameras can record. You can record the same quality on your phone.
Yeah.
So have you learned how to edit videos? So there's so much content out there today from smartphones. What can you do with those smartphones? And the beautiful part about it is that you don't even have to spend a lot of money learning a new skill.
You can always
Just spend some time on YouTube and you'll find out how to do so. Take, for example, if I need to cut videos, when I record videos, I cut them by myself. I do very limited editing, but I don't need somebody else to reduce the size, increase the size, extract my audio.
You can do all of that.
I can do all that because there are mobile apps that are available for free.
Yeah.
So it's just so important that you're multi-skill and you can get paid for the new skills that you're learning.
Do you often, well, you consult for businesses, do you have this as part of your curriculum, telling them what they need to do for employees? Because employees would often be so, overrun with the daily activities of a workplace that they might not have the time to actually upgrade their own skills.
There are two
How
challenges,
can
really.
employers help employees remain relevant in such a system?
There are two challenges with employers, really. And I've said it a number of times at different fora. The first thing is that employers don't often do an assessment of what their needs are before they employ people. They just think that we need this person on the top of their head, and then they say HR or they outsource, employ this person. Then they employ that person who has the skill set for what they said they needed. The person comes in and they realize that that's not what they need. Then they begin the process of trying to convert that person to do some other things in the organization. But the person came in with a different skill set. Unfortunately, there are some people who are not so flexible to learn the new skill set that they need. And there are some other people who are flexible and they will adapt. So the first thing they need to do is be sure of what you really need. Ensure that the skill set you need is what you're asking somebody to employ for. Then the other thing, I've also noticed that somebody will just say, oh, we need this training. Can you come and train our people and stuff like that? And I realized that they've not done what they call a training needs analysis. So they just said, oh, everybody is doing AI training. Let's do AI training. Everybody is doing emotional intelligence. Let's do emotional intelligence. But what does your own organization need? So when you do a training needs analysis, you then realize, okay, it looks like this is where we have issues. And that's what you should be training for. But they are training for something that they don't need. There are people who acquire the skills and they cannot deploy the skills in their organization. So the two things that I've just said that they should do, number one, look for the real skill sets that you need. Then number two, if you're going to train your employees, ask yourself, where do we have gaps? And train in line with your gaps. So multi-skilling them becomes effective in that instance.
So those are samples for people who are in systems or corporate systems. What about people, and today it is the norm to actually leave one place, immigrate. For people who are immigrating outside of a country, how can this be of help to them?
The first and the most important thing is go check the country you're going to, check the list of skills in demand.
In demand.
If you don't check the list of skills in demand, you're working against yourself. For example, if you're going to maybe the US or the UK, data analytics is something that you need to, if you like figures or you're not scared of figures, look into data analytics, look into email marketing, look into search engine optimization, look into social media marketing. Because those are things that people are using on a daily basis. Then ask yourself, what else can you do? Healthcare is big in the UK. Healthcare is big in Canada, in the US. So what can you do that is related? It could be technology in healthcare. It could be healthcare in the military. It could be any of the fields. Just make sure you check out the list of on-demand skills, depending on what country. Do you know that in Canada, for example, if you're a truck driver, your skill is in demand?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Being a plumber, your skill is in demand. Being an electrician, being an automobile engineer, your skill. So look out for what is in demand and skill up in that regard.
Well, being a plumber will always be in demand, that's for sure. But thank you very much, Mr. Adelisi, for coming once again. Fantastic. Now we know something about you we didn't know. This guy can operate a camera anytime. So in case you're looking for somebody to take care of your wedding memories and all, he has just advertised for you people. He's straight and fresh out of the University of YouTube, by the way. But don't let that bother you. He's good at what he does. Is that enough?
Yes, sure.